According to some uh, national studies over the years, as it relates to, in America at least, the longevity of most average adults in America, our life expectancy is about approximately 75 years old. Now, that's going to fluctuate up and down depending on your pre-existing conditions, maybe conditions medically, that is, I should say, something you were born with and or acquired, or even just evolution, genetics, DNA, whether you're a man or a woman, what your ethnic group may be, black, Latino, Hispanic, Asian, white or otherwise. There are varying factors, but for the most part, so again, there are many factors that determine our our age and our life expectancy here in America, across the planet too. But for the most part, in America, they say on average 75 years old, and they say that women, especially black women, outlive black men or men. Um, I guess it's because of the stress that women put us through. That's just a side joke. But anyway, in some other countries, people live a lot longer, both men and women. In other countries, mainly Hong Kong, for example, up into their 90s, well up into their late 80s and 90s, and they're relatively healthy. But it's different here in America. So, what I'm getting at is this: our life expectancy in America is about 75 years old. What quality of life will you and I have at 75? Now, if you're older than 75 today, as you're listening to this video, congratulations, and I'm happy for you that you've lived that long in America. But when it comes to retirement in America, it's kind of sketchy. You know, you could retire with partial retirement around 62 years old here in America. And depending on when you were born, 50s, or even early 60s and up, your retirement age goes up. So, for example, I'm 60, I'll be 61 this year. My full retirement age is 67. Now, I'm not saying I'm in the worst physical condition in the world, because I'm not. What I'm saying is this: when you paint this broad brush stroke and say that these people, for retirement at 67 years old, once we retire at let's say 67, let's use that as an example, 67 years old, how much more value would you have in your life once you retire here in America? So let's give ourselves 10 years. So that would be 77 years old. So from 67 to 77, give or take a couple years, how meaningful of a life would you have? How valuable would your retirement be once you quit working or just decide to retire? Will you be in relatively good health? Or would you have, excuse my joke coming, here comes, would you have one foot on the banana peel and another one in the grave? Would you be in such bad health that your retirement wouldn't even matter? Once upon a time, when I was in the military, before I got out, most veterans that were in before me and during my time, and I ETS'd out, if you will, you could put 20 years in the military, come out with a nice retirement. 20 years. 20 years on the police force, get out, nice retirement or pension. 20 years on any regular job, retirement after 20 years, get out. Now I see people working 35 and 40 years to try to survive. Only in America, as Muhammad Ali's old promoter said, Don King, only in America. Why is it that we have to live so long before we can retire and have a comfortable or a relatively comfortable life? Now, if you're much older than I am and your retirement is great for you, that's fine. But that's not applicable to everyone. In today's society, after the citizens or after the public cries out loud about, raising the minimum wage on most jobs, it doesn't match the cost of living. So you can cry, snot and snarl and say minimum wage needs to be $15, it needs to be $17, it needs to be $20. Once someone in power, as it were, finally approves this in the government and says, okay, it's now $15, $16, $17 an hour. But guess what? The cost of living goes up too, so nothing has changed. You're still in the same situation that you were in before. Go figure. It's all about the bottom line for the government. They don't care about you and I. They never have. So, it's probably two subjects wrapped up in one. Retirement age is laughable. That's why I would encourage anyone, if at all possible, today to seek out another form of income or several forms of income, to have residual income, to have a backup plan, to have a second and a third income, and not work yourself to death. Not physical labor, that is. Do something different. Sky's the limit. There's a YouTube, there's the internet, there's a lot of things that you can do, and I won't disclose those things right now because I think you're intelligent enough to be able to figure this out for yourselves. I'm just encouraging you. I'm sorry I got a little thrown off. But anyway, what I'm trying to say to you is this. The powers that be, and when I say the powers that be, I'm referring to those higher powers in government for the most part. They don't care about you and I having a comfortable retirement. They care about making money from us. And I believe that they have, over the years, continued to push the retirement age up for political reasons. They push the age up so that since we only have a shorter life expectancy because of our poor health here in America, so the government has never cared about you and I. You may have to take a moment and digest this one. Let that sort of absorb into your person. When has the so-called government ever cared about the people? I'll wait. I can wait forever. You can never answer that question when the government has cared about us. It cares about itself. It's the machine. It is the machine that consumes all of the, how should I say, all the results of our sweat equity. It takes it from us in the form of taxes, various forms of taxation, to benefit itself, not us. It only seems as though it's benefiting us just because you have what they call money, something that you can go out and purchase, a home or an apartment or a vehicle, automobile, motorcycle, go out on the town and eat at a lavish restaurant or a fast food restaurant, go out for entertainment, watch movies at the theater, go to the opera. Just because you're able to buy all of these things, does that mean that the government cares about you? It's monopoly money. It's not real. The only real money is gold and silver that's been here since the beginning of time. A promissory note. A dollar bill, $5, $10, $20, $50, $100. It's just a promise to pay. That's it. The government has no money. You and I have no money. We just call it money. It's a medium of exchange supported by or on the strength of the so-called government's word. Okay? House Joint Resolution 192, June 1933, will tell you that the United States corporation is bankrupt. It is. It's been bankrupt since 1933. There's no real money. Everything is done on a computer now. Everything's done on a ledger. It's not real. It only has the appearance of being real. Maybe this is a third subject in one video. But think about it. Now, I gave you information. Are you going to do your due diligence and go and look it up? I wouldn't say it if it didn't exist. HJR, House Joint Resolution 192, will tell you that the United States corporation, not country, the United States corporation is bankrupt. And if we were so solvent, why in the world have we capped off at $30 trillion in debt? But we are solvent, right? We're the richest nation in the world, right? Maybe our military plays a part in that, or that illusion of being the richest country in the world. $30 trillion in debt. They'll lock you and I up for not paying a bill. But they're $30 trillion plus in debt to other countries, China and whomever. That was it. Think about these things. You can weigh in, and if you want me to address something specifically, I'm going to take my time the next time on some of these subjects, and I'm going to set up the forum where I can speak with you heart to heart. And I hope you don't have a problem, and I hope you're not allergic to the truth, because it is what it is. This is Brother Teacher. So long.